Thank you very much. My family will be watching the DVD of this later, so can we do the applause again, but louder? Thank you and good evening. There has evolved a tradition at Raleigh Charter High School where the graduation speaker is almost always someone who left the school the previous year. Such was my own desire to be your graduation speaker that I undertook this massive project to create a charter school. And endure fiery criticism from local media and elected bodies. Also, I could be here tonight to present to you one final crystalline example of your children's poor judgment. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the class of 2012 for this invitation to speak. I would also like to apologize to the class of 2012, particularly those of you who are now looking at your programs and saying, oh, that's who that guy is. This is good practice for this coming November. Tonight, I would like to talk to you about not talking. And thank you for being quiet, that's not really what I meant. You can talk like you want, I got a microphone. What I mean is the difference between talk and action. Talk is cheap, they say. Shut up and dance, wrote the American poet Steven Tyler. If you're fans of the movie Team America World Police, parents, if you haven't seen this, then I encourage you to use your judgment before watching it. You should know that it was inspired by the 1982 box office bomb Megaforce, starring Barry Bostwick, which featured a secret high-tech mercenary army that fought evil with stealth dune buggies and motorcycles that launched rockets. Why do I bring this up? Because the insignia on their uniforms, which were spandex, skin tight, just amazing things for the period. But the insignia reads deeds, not words. Think about that for a minute. Deeds, not words. That's enough pop culture. This is Raleigh Charter. Let's church this up a bit. Book 20 of the Iliad. Spoiler alert, Greeks win. Features a great confrontation between Achilles and Aeneas. Spoiler alert, Achilles wins. They meet ready to fight, but spend a few minutes jawing. Come, no more childish talk here at the heart of a great battle. Each side has a mass of bitter words to say. No deep-sea ship could take that load, even 100 bencher. Men have twisty tongues, and on them speech of all kinds. Wide is the grazing lanes of words, both east and west. The manner of speech you use, the same you are apt to hear. By what necessity must we goad one another face to face with provocations, like two city women roughing into the middle of the street to wrangle bitten by rage, with many a true word, and some false, for anger calls those out as well. My mind is set on honor. Words of yours cannot throw me off, not till our spears have crossed. Come, on with it, we will taste one another's bronze. Wide is the grazing land of words. Love that phrase. Perhaps then talk is sheep. I've been a chemistry teacher for 17 years, and I had planned on being one for at least another 17. Last year, though, I began to work with some colleagues on developing a new charter school designed to bring strong, engaging math and science instruction to students who might not have been lucky enough to have it in their careers, and to try and help those students realize a potential that might not be tapped in their traditional schools. I had a mass of bitter words to say about education in general, having learned how fantastic a school can be when intelligent, practical people set about to create a school that works. But I never actually wanted to work at this school. I just wanted to help plan it. So I met with several great teaching minds and thought up a novel educational program and set about to write the 135-page charter application. I was proud of that work and really looked forward to seeing somebody else bring it into existence. Does it take 135 pages to express what a school can be? Men had twisty tongues those days. Then, one day, I was asked to be the leader of that school. Without any hesitation, I said, no way. Actually, I said something else, but there are children present. I explained that I had no credentials for, no experience with, or no interest in that particular job. They asked again, I still said no. I asked a friend if I could be a principal, and that person laughed at me. I told my wife, she very desperately replied, you told them no, right? Later that night, she actually woke me up and told me I should reconsider, but by then I'd already decided that it was an idea that I couldn't really shake. I never wanted to be an administrator of a school. I never really wanted to be anything but a classroom teacher. In fact, I still don't want to be an administrator, but I'm going to be one. And you might think, well, that's a pretty big but, and I value that cognitive dissonance, but I guess I really have to say I like big butts, and I cannot lie. You've probably never heard anyone segue from Servants a Lot to David Brooks, so you're welcome. Last year, around commencement season, the New York Times columnist wrote a column entitled, "It's Not About You." In it, he bemoans the baby boomer theology that exhorts students to follow your passion, chart your own course, follow your dreams, find yourself. He says this is exactly backwards, and I agree with him. He writes, "Most people don't form a self and then lead a life. They are called by a problem, and the self is constructed gradually by their calling." Most people don't form a self and then lead a life. See, you think this is all about who you are and who you're going to become and what that person is going to do with all that wisdom, knowledge, and experience you've gained over the last 4 years. Well, I'll tell you what that person is going to do. Probably not enough. You need to understand what makes you so special as newly minted graduates, and there are 3 things. First of all, you have unbounded energy. You can stay up till 3 a.m. 7 days a week and nobody's going to notice. Secondly, you don't have commitments. You don't have a house to pay for, or family to meet, or soccer games to drive kids to, so you can stay up till 3 in the morning, 7 days a week, and nobody will notice. And finally, you're cheap. And don't take that personally. It's not bad. You need to wear that mantle with pride. Exploit that fact, because here's the thing. If you spend your youth now trying to figure out what it is that you want to do, you're going to waste your best years. By the time you know what you want to do, or at least think you know what you want to do, you won't have the time to do it. And I know you're thinking, but couldn't I do that thing that I want to do better if I had more wisdom and experience and passion? The answer is no. They've already hired that guy. Well, some of you will probably be that guy, but that guy needs young, cheap, uncommitted tool pushers to implement the plan. The world needs cheap, energetic people who will shut up and pick up a shovel. The worst thing that's going to happen to you if you just go out and try something is that you will accidentally pick something that you turned out not to like later, or you work in a job for a couple years and find out you hate it, and you will. You'll think that you wasted a couple years doing something that you hated, but that's not right. What you did was you spent a couple of years helping somebody else. You bettered someone's life. You improved something. You reduced the local entropy of the universe. Then you quit. But isn't that better than spending a lot of time thinking about it, not ever doing it, and then deciding you don't want to do it, and then what it was that you could have been engaged in fails? I am goading you face to face with provocations, but my mind is set on honor. I've chosen to take on a job that I don't know a whole lot about. And look at what I gave up. All of this. And all of this. Guaranteed admission for my daughter, probably the best school I've ever seen. Free saran wrap. Jack Brown in a dress. Where else can I find that? And here's the secret. My fear. Partially mine. One little construction delay prevents my school from opening, and all that turns to dust. What does that mean? It means it's going to be available for tutoring if anybody needs it. So why am I doing this? Well, because number one, I think I can open up possibilities for students and improve the life of somebody who needs it. The chance that I can also help other teachers learn how to do this and maybe improve education across the state, maybe even across the nation. I might hate it, but that's a risk I'm willing to take because the benefit to others is greater than my inconvenience should I fail. I choose to act rather than to figure out whether or not this was for me. Deeds, not words. So go home. Not right now. Go home. Go to your parties tonight. Celebrate the work that you've put in over the last 4 years. You've earned that. But remember this, you're leaving for Troy in the morning. You're rowing that 100 venture, and when you hit the beach, you have a choice. You can camp in a tent, stare out the wine dark sea all day. Talk about when you want to fight and how you want to fight, or you can just fight. Come, let us have a taste of one another's bronze. So dive into a project, volunteer to a nonprofit, help out at a school, learn a skill. There's too much work needed in this great world of ours for you to waste time trying to figure out what you want to do. My younger brother sent me a tape. It's a little plastic thing you put mute. Never mind. A singer he saw back in the very early 90s when he was hanging out in Charlottesville. He'd seen him at a club or something. He said, "This guy, his name's Dave Matthews, and he's really good. You should see him." So when my brother sends me a CD, I tend to listen to him. He sent me another CD. That's a little silver. Never mind. A band from Canada called Carbon Leaf. You may have heard of them. So I want to bring this back to pop culture with a bit of a lyric that I think exemplifies what I'm trying to say about using that vital essence, that passion, that potential energy, rather than trying to figure out what to do with it. It's a song called Raise the Roof. Raise the roof, that I might see the stars, to gain wisdom, to see things for what they are. Please, I need proof. It's all about talk up to this point, by the way. But then the song continues. Dance till you fall, love till you die, shut your mouth. Raise the roof. So when you're ready to start your life, remember those words. Dance till you fall, love till you die, shut your mouth. Raise the roof.